Hi guys, this is a tutorial on how to use gather content. The pages in here correspond to the pages on your website. Clicking on a page will give you various tabs that correspond to the different sections on your design screens. So for example, on the home page, let's open up the guideline link. And then moving to the first tab, we have the banner section, which corresponds to this section. You have fields for your subheading, heading, body, as well as fields to upload your image. Moving on to the services tab, once again you have fields for the headings and body. Meanwhile, these will be auto-populated based on the service singles you upload. That's why there are no fields for these here. Over to the next section, we have our process. Same deal, content for the various headings, body, and buttons, as well as fields for an image. Next is case studies. Same thing, fields for the various content. Finally, you have fields for your callouts, the about and contact, as well as fields for your newsletter. Moving on to the services page. The guideline link for this will be just the prototypes since we don't have designs yet. But you can definitely use these as a guide as you're creating content. Once again, fields for the banner, fields for the intro, and for the value propositions. So on WordPress, you can actually create as many of these as you like. So with that, on Gather Content, we replicate that flexibility by creating new pages. I'll get to that in a sec, but just going through the rest of the page. Services, you have fields for your heading and body. Once again, these will be auto-populated, so there are no fields for this. And then fields for your callouts at the bottom. So moving on to the flexible content rows, please create a new page using the content row template for each value proposition. So you'll be creating a new page for each of these rows. There's a sample here. You have fields again for your content. And by creating a new page, we have to remember two things. First is to parent it under the correct page. So for this value proposition, it goes under the services page, so we make sure we parent it under that. And then we're supposed to use the content row template. That's the most important thing, is using the correct template. If you used a different template, say the ones for team singles, you would have different fields, so that wouldn't really work out. So we need to make sure that we're using the correct templates as we create new pages. If you're wanting to delete pages, you can do that as well through the settings and archiving your page. So moving on, for creating your actual service singles, you'll also do this by creating a new page. So for example, this one, this is the service single, so it goes under the services page. And then we're going to use the service single template to create this new page. And so for each of these services, you just create a new page until you're done. Going through the tabs in here, you have fields for the guideline, fields for the banner, fields for the highlights. I'll get to that in a sec. You also have fields for your gallery as well as additional content at the bottom. So with the highlights, these are flexible as well. You can create as many as you want. Once again, we'll just need to create new pages for each of these. using the highlights template. So for each of these guys, create a new page. Make sure we parent that under the correct service. So it'll be under service 1. That's the example we created. And we'll make sure we use the correct template, which is the highlights template. And then you'll have fields for the heading, the body, and the icon. You'll proceed to create more new highlight pages for each of the highlights. And then once you're done, you'll just need to create more service single pages for each of the service singles you have. If you're wanting to rearrange content as well, if it gets too messy, you can do that through the content link. Click on reorder items. And then from there, you can move the pages around as needed. Here, right? And fix the ordering as well. If you're wanting to just get rid of a bunch of pages all at once, you can also just archive the items. And so those are really the steps that you need for creating the content for your website. The same goes for the different pages. So for example, on the team page, you really only have fields for the banner and the intro. Banner and intro here. Any new team members that you need to add, go ahead and create a new page using the proper template. So that would be the team single, and then you'll have the necessary fields to enter your content. So any other questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to help. Thanks guys.